kiss for you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back to the part 2 of my video series on how to apply frame to the images using Kotlin language in Android Studio. Alright guys, so we will start from where we had left. So in our previous activity we had created the main activity and we had a button that was used to pick up the image, and after the user picked up the image, then we had to go to the code had to come to the on activity result method, and in there we were going to send the image URI to our image activity, right? So we are just picking the image and sending the URI to that image activity, and inside that image activity now we will receive the URI and we will display that, and then we will apply the filter. So in order to apply the filter, we will have the recycler view, and inside that recycler view we will have a couple of filters or frames. So let's get started, right guys? So here if we go to our image activity and if we go to the XML part, then here let's first of all let's change it to constant. From the constant layout, let's have it as the relative layout, right? And after that let me set the height of it as wrap content, and then we are going to use the frame layout, and its width will be match parent and height will also be match parent. And we set the ID of this frame layout as frame layout, and then we have to make it as center in parent, so we can say center in parent to true. And after that, inside that frame layout, we are going to use two image views. Okay, so the first image will be the image that we are going to display, and the second image view will be the frame which we are going to put that into that frame. So in order to do that, let's first of all have the image view, and let's set it to match parent and match parent, and let's set the ID as image view, and let's set the scale type as fit center. Right, then we will have another image view, and that one will be to apply the frame. So here we can say image view match parent, and height will be a match parent, and then we are going to set the scale type fit xy, and then we are going to use adjust view bound, and we have to make it to true, and finally we have to set the ID. So for its ID we can say it like frame view, right? We have the image view and we have the frame view, right? So we are going to use that, and finally we have to use recycler view, a small recycler view, so that we show all the frames, so that the user, when user clicks on any frame, then that frame will be applied, right? So here we are going to use the recycler view, and we have to set the match height as match parent, and let's set the height as 80 dp, and let's set the ID, and let's set the align parent bottom to true, right? Okay, so here we have the activity image.xml file ready. Now we have to go to our image activity, and in here first of all we have to bind our view. So for that we can say let init var, and first of all we have the image view, then we have the frame view, Then we have the recycler view as well, so we can say alright. So now we have the three views here, and we just now need to bind our views. So for that, let me first of all write image view, and then we have the code has been automatically generated using the Gemini AI. So here it is, as you can see, we are using the Picasso, so we are able to load that the image URI, and in here we are getting error, declare doesn't contain any declaration. So here we have to go to file and we have to click on sync project with Gradle files. Alright guys, so now the errors have been removed. Okay, so after that, after we have received the URI and after we set the image toward this, then we are going to set up the recycler view. Okay, so in order to do that, let me write recycler view dot layout manager equal to linear layout, or sorry, the grid layout manager, and in here we have to pass on the current reference, and then we have to pass on the total number of rows. So in this case we are going to use 8, or I think 6 is enough. And after that we have to use recycler view, and before go to the adapter, we can say recycler view dot set as fixed size, right? And after that we set up it to the image, we set the adapter to the image adapter which we are going to create. So here we are, let me create a new Kotlin class, and I have to rename it as image adapter, right? And after that we are going to send the context as well as the okay, as well as the array. So we have to create an integer array because we are going to pass on all the frames images. So you have to copy and paste all your frames into this drawable folder, right? Since I already have these frames, frame 0, frame 1, frame 2, let me show you. This is the frame 0, then we have all these frames here, right? These are all the frames. So we are going to first of all initialize the array list. So in order to initialize, so here we can say variable image frames, and it will be an integer array, and here we can say int array of, and inside that we can pass on r dot drawable dot frame 0, then we have r dot drawable dot frame 1, similarly for all these. Alright, now we have the array list here, I mean the arrays, integer array, and then we are just going to send this integer array to our adapter, right? So now we are going to create the adapter class. Okay, so after this we have to go to the image adapter, or I mean the frame adapter. Let me change the name as frame adapter. So I go to refactor, rename, Okay, so I have renamed it as frame adapter, right? So inside that I have to create a constructor, and then I have to extend it with recycler view dot adapter. So in order to do that, let me just I have just tapped the tab button, and it has automatically generated me with the context on the with the context and the image integer array. Okay, so that is the constructor, and after that here we are going to extend it with recycler view dot. Okay, so it has automatically generated the code for me, right? And inside that now we are going to implement the methods. We have the three methods on create view holder, on bind view holder, and get item count. And finally we have to create the inner class. This is the way of initializing this class, and in here inside that class let me write it as inner class, and here we have to bind on our image view. Okay, so we will do that later, but before that let me rewrite the method on create view holder. So here we can say value view equal to layout inflator dot from, and then we have to pass on the context, and we can say dot inflate r dot layout dot item underscore frame. Then we have to use the parent and false, right? And finally we can just return it, and after that let me create the item frame. Let's change it to relative layout, right? Inside that frame layout we are going to use an image view. So for that let me just write, okay, let me change from the relative layout to linear layout, and let's change the height to wrap content, and after that let me change the orientation to vertical, and inside that let me write image view, and here we can say it like 40 dp, and also the dimension is same, so we will just copy that and paste it here, and then we can set the padding to be 10 dp, and finally we set the id, right? So that is the class of item frame xml, right? And after that let me just write let me write this, and here we can say return image frame dot size, right? And inside that our inner class we are going to use, let me show you. Okay, so here we can say variable image view equal to item view dot find view by id r dot id dot image view. Let me check the id of it, frame image view. So we will write frame image view here, and it's showing me an error. Okay, so here let me write it like this, right? Now error has been removed, and inside that I have to use the on click event listener. So after we will do that in our next part of this video, I mean the part 3. So guys, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and goodbye.